this was something that I was thinking about a couple of days ago, and I was curious to hear your thoughts because we have still some interesting tribalism in pro wrestling, guys. And it kind of bothers me a little bit because I can't understand why some people hate AEW so much because they have had such an incredible impact on the industry. And it made everybody step their game up so much in every aspect of it. The performers have had to do better. The promotions have had to do better. Even from WWE down to the industries. Because I remember when I first started doing this show, WWE was on complete coast mode, and they have really had to have changed over the past few years of what they were doing because now they had a legit competitor, something else that people could watch, and Triple H could say what he wanted, but there were people that were starting to turn the dials a little bit, and and people, even in the media, people had to do a better job. And AEW really, I think, took the industry and made it better. And you can say what you want about the promotion itself, whether it's you like it or you don't, but I think it made massive improvements to what has gone on in pro wrestling. And I'm curious to hear your thoughts about that. Let me go to you first, Coach Rosie, on that.
Well, I think it was a perfect storm. Unfortunately, with COVID, you know, we had a lot more time to watch wrestling. And I think the new shiny toy was AEW. And I think that brought back a lot of fans that might have been on the periphery or might have been frustrated with WWE. I mean, the Thunderdome, that didn't really resonate with a lot of people watching on television, but the AEW product was something shiny and new, and I think it really propelled people back. Now with everything being open again, it's kind of going back to the way it used to be, but there's still that strong AEW presence that is going to continue to not only push WWE, but push TNA and push all the strong independents to produce and make a good product.
Matt, what do you think? Because I mean, you've been in this industry for a long time, so what did you see a shift?
Oh, and there was an absolute shift when AEW came in. They made WWE step up their game because you're right. WWE was on cruise control for a decade and a half. Once WCW and ECW went down, they didn't care what they were doing. As long as they were making their weekly product, it didn't need to be the greatest thing of all time because they were the only game in town. As far as they were concerned, they weren't concerned about TNA or New Japan or Ring of Honor or anything like that. But now there's a legitimate like number two competitor in the world of professional wrestling, and WWE responded. That's why the WWE product is as good as it is right now and as hot as it is because of AEW. And you also need to keep in mind without AEW, like AEW has a roster, I would say probably somewhere between 100 and 150 people, like on their in ring roster. I'm not even talking about backstage employees and production and ring crew and all those people they employ, making a good living because this company exists. There's no way WWE could hire all of those people that AEW have employed and utilize all of them and not just release 20 people every other month. Like AEW is good for the industry. And I don't understand anybody who can't see that. It is an alternative to WWE. I don't understand the criticisms and the complaints from the old talking heads that want AEW to be more like WWE. Their complaints are this isn't lit. They're not doing it the way WWE does it, or WWE does it this way, so why doesn't AEW do it that way? They're an alternative product. And that's what's important about AEW. They're giving people the option. If you don't like what WWE has for you, here's AEW. But they're not forcing, we're not, as a wrestling fan, you're not forced to watch anything. 20 years ago, if you wanted to watch wrestling, you had to watch WWE. Now there's wrestling on TV almost like every freaking day of the week. You have a choice of what to watch. Don't hate watch what you don't enjoy. Watch what you love. Well, and if you don't like AEW or you don't like WWE or you don't like TNA or MLW or NWA or any of the other wrestling companies out there, just don't watch them. Don't talk about them. Don't hate watch. Don't shame people who enjoy the other companies. Just watch what you enjoy and promote what you enjoy. Like the ongoing tribalism online absolutely blows my mind. I love WWE. I love AEW. Like I'm a pro wrestling fan. Why can't we all be pro wrestling fans together? Because when I was growing up, I was picked on relentlessly in school for being a wrestling fan. And then junior high and high school happened throughout the Attitude Era. And all of a sudden, I was able to coast through those years because wrestling was cool again during the Monday Night Wars. But I can only imagine like having a group of wrestling fans to go to when I was a kid to share my love for WWF and WCW and everything that was ongoing at that time. Now we have that. You can go on social media and interact with wrestling fans all over the world. But instead of just being united and enjoying professional wrestling, people are at each other's throats because it has to be AEW versus WWE. It doesn't have to be anything. Just watch the pro wrestling you enjoy, and that's all there is to it.
There you go. Matt Black. A round of applause. Round of applause.
Dropping knowledge.
Oh, very
that's
beautiful.
our Sunday sermon for today. We'll pass the plate.
Oh
go
my
to
God.
WrestleZone and tie them.
There you go. That was beautiful.
I'm sorry. I'm very passionate about the tribalism in wrestling. I can't stand it. And anytime I can try to talk about it, make people see things in a different way, I am more than happy to do so.
Yeah, and and one thing that I think people forget sometimes too is the opportunities that when AEW came in that it has created for everybody, because there's now hope for more performers too.
Yep.
You have so many more indie promotions that are succeeding, and here in Las Vegas we've got a bunch of them, and they now have so much more of a chance to get out there and do something, as opposed to, boy, I hope WWE takes a look at me and I'm that 1 in 5,000. You've got so many chances now to get seen. And these people that are out there busting their butts, it was either you get on WWE or maybe hit TNA, and that was it. Otherwise, you're out there grinding for $100, maybe, if you were lucky.
I was gonna say, if you're lucky, yeah.
So this has been great for everybody, and and like you said, I just wish everybody would just enjoy I'm not a big GCW guy. I that's not my thing, but there's a lot of people that love GCW.
And they house a lot of great talent there too.
Yeah.
So
enjoy what you like, but man, just stop ripping it all the time. My God. I mean, there's great performers.
If you don't like it, don't talk about it. Like you don't see me on my timeline talking about things that I hate. I don't discuss things that I hate. I discuss things that I love. And even when I'm critiquing it out of love. Like, I'm not doing it to be a jerk, or trying to be a contrarian, and any, a-hole or anything like that. I'm really just trying. I want to help make the product better.
Right.
So I feel sometimes if I know Tony Khan reads everything. I get liked. He's liked plenty of my tweets throughout the years. So I know he reads what I say. So I feel like if I could say something and help benefit a product and make it better, I'm going to say it. And I'm not doing it to, to cause a tribalistic war or anger or anything. Like I critique when it's needed and I praise when it's deserved. And I do that for everything that I love. If I go and see Deadpool and Wolverine at the end of this month and it doesn't live up to my expectations, I will go on social media afterwards and say, man, they dropped the ball with the movie that I was looking forward to most all year.
But
I want to walk out of the movie theater going, that was the greatest MCU experience I've had since Endgame.
Flat out, we'll watch it.